Hey, what's up guys, it's Fatal Trigger, and today I'm going to show you guys my new personal deck. I like this deck a lot because it focuses on both spectrums of gameplay, offensive and defensive, and it's very tactical, but it's also very aggressive. So let's get started. The starting Vanguard for us, we have a one Lizard Soldier Conroe. Its effect's pretty simple. You ride over him, you put him in your rearguard circle, and then you can counterblast one and put him in your drop zone to search out one grade 1 or lower unit from your deck and add it to your hand. So I can add my Airmos for better cycling power, I can add my Baris for guarding, I can add my Bars for more power, and I can also add Kimnara for more plays. Basically just negging my opponent. Speaking of grade 1s, let's start on them. My standard 3 Null Guard. The reason I picked 3 and not 4 is because through testing I found out that if I have 4, I'm usually ending up ditching one Bari to use another one, and that's never a good idea. It clogs up too much, and also it makes it easier when I'm deck building. I usually start off with 3, and I change it depending on the build through testing and testing and testing. But 3 has always been a good number for me. It's balanced out, gives me a high amount of guards, and it never clogs up. Next up we have 2 Airmo. This is a Goku build, sealed Goku. And I always try to put in at least 2 Airmos in every one of my Goku-esque builds because I don't want to hold on to those grade 3s once they're in my hand. I just want them to get out of the way and search out new fresh cards. Then we have 4 Embodiment of Armor Bar, your standard AK booster. And then we have 4 Demonic Dragon Mage Kimnara. It's a 6k booster, but that's not what's beautiful about it. It's a new card. It came out just this new set 2. And its effect is Counterblast 1, add to Soul, and choose one of your opponent's grade 1 rear guards and retire it. So essentially you're negging your opponent so they commit more to the board, and that's exactly what you want them to do in this deck. Trigger wise, we're running 4 heal, 6 crit, and 6 stand. I picked a balanced set of between crits and stands because of 2 reasons. One, this layout is very aggressive. I can heal, standard, but it allows me to end the game quickly, add more pressure as well, and add even more pressure, and just force my opponent to guard even more cards, which again is what I want them to do. Also, they're all 10k shields, so I never have to find myself scrapping for another card to get a guard. I'll usually have a handful of 10k shields, and that's just fine. Grade 2 wise, we're moving on to 4 Nahalem, your standard 10k grade 2 interceptor. Very good, very viable in almost any Kagero deck. Just very consistent overall. Then we have 4 Dragonite Burger. I kind of want to say burger, but it makes me hungry. This is another new card that came out in set 2. His skill is very easy. When he intercepts and you have a Kagero Vanguard, he gains 5,000 during the intercept. So essentially he's a 10k shield you can play on the field. Another 10k shield to add on to my trigger value. Very good card. The only bad side is he has very low stats, so it's used more defensively than anything else. Then I have 2 high-speed Bracky. A lot of people look at this and they're like, what? The reason I picked Bracky is because it's very simple to use. I have my Kimnaras for soul charging, but I really won't use them that much. Bracky I usually hold on to for a game-winning push, or just add even more pressure to the massive amount I'm already adding on top. Bracky is a good option because it goes back to the deck. I lose only a 5k card, but then again, I lose 1 card overall, but it's very worth it because it's a 14 by himself with his effects, and he allows me to go for 22s, 21s, 2000s, etc. Very good card overall. Can be teched in almost any deck, really. That's why I choose to run it. Right now I'm just testing it, but he'll probably stay. Grade 3 wise, we have 4 Dragon Monk Goku. This is a Goku build, so of course I'm running 4. It's also running a high grade 3 count, 10 in this case. So it better maximizes Goku's effect. And Goku's effect, for those of you who don't know, is when he drive checks to a grade 3, you pick one of your opponent's grade 1 rear guards and you retire it. So on top of my 16 triggers, I have, let's see, 9 other cards in the most ideal situation that I can check into and make a plus off. Heals and stands, crits, all pluses. Goku's effect is also one of those. So essentially my other grade 3s are kind of triggers in their own way. Very good, very viable. New players won't really see the value in Goku until they play it, but trust me guys, it really pays off. Then we have another new card, 3 Seal Dragon Blockade. This card is very interesting and it's very punishing. It's a very brutal unit. It's a 10k grade 3. And its effect is simple. During your turn, your opponent cannot intercept. Very, very painful. Because what it does is it forces your opponent to either commit more to the board to try to win before I can use my plays, or keep their cards in hand and keep shields up. Because usually people can play grade 2s without worry, because it's a sword and shield. You can attack and you can defend with it. So therefore you don't lose any shield with it. Especially in this set where most clans have a 10k interceptor like Berger. But Seal Dragon stops all that. What he does is he forces your opponent to either lose shields or keep them all in hand so I can just pick them off later. Him, along with the Kimnara and the Goku, is just a very deadly combo. I usually swap between both of these. It's not very hard to actually swap. But for a game winning push, I usually like to win with just a blockade as a finisher. With Goku already doing his work, blockade comes in, and my opponent can't intercept. So by the time I'm negating them so many cards, they're usually going to try to keep them in hand or play on the field. If they play on the field, I can simply pick those off with my rear guards. In this case, Goku. Overlord. And if they keep them in hand, I can simply attack with high attack scores like Overlord and Bracky. So overall, this deck, it forces my opponent to pick one of the two, and neither is a better option. And finally, we have 3 Dragonic Overlord. Very good card, my favorite unit of all time. Very broken effect. Counterblast 3 when he's a Vanguard or a Rearguard. He gains 5,000 power for that turn, and he loses Twin Drive. As a Rearguard, this doesn't matter, the effect will still go off. Essentially, if he attacks and the attack hits, he can stand right back up and attack again. So you can either use them to get that 5k boost, attack with your Vanguard, etc. Or in one of the best situations, use this effect, attack your opponent's Rearguard, they guard, attack with a Vanguard, and then you check into a great stand trigger, stand him right back up. He's a 21 beater that can attack the entire front row. Very deadly, very good combo. So yeah, this deck is basically, it forces my opponent to do one or the other. I like it very much. Testing has been great. I've done a couple matches versus Defiant Freedom, and I've got some lucky trigger pulls, but I've also beaten them just because of the strategy. Although Defiant Freedom, don't get me wrong, he's an amazing player. He knows exactly how to counter this deck right as soon as he saw it. Very good, very intuitive. Props to him. But overall, this is one of my favorite builds. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just go ahead, comment, message any suggestions, questions you have that I might have not covered in this video. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and yeah, night guys.